Hello friends! I haven't made videos for concrete signs of the zodiac for a long time, so I decided to do it now because May is very specific and important month, announcing a turning point that will happen by the end of June, perhaps. So in this video I will talk about what May and possibly next month will bring to each zodiac sign. And later, during this month, during May, I will record another video for May, and there I will speak about that, how transits in May will influence us on mundane level. Before we begin, I want to warn you that many people follow, I mean not to warn, I want to mention that many people follow such videos, similar videos, for their zodiac sign. For example, somebody knows that he's Gemini in Horoscope, and then those people follow videos about Gemini sign. But the trouble is that someone, for example, even if people follow videos about their sign, then they don't see that what they hear corresponds with them. It does not make sense to them. This is because someone can have Sun in Gemini, for example, but also 5 planets in Taurus, or 5 planets in Aquarius, or 8 planets, or 7 planets in 12 astrological sign, or things like that. I'm speaking up here about extremes, and that means actually that that person will not identify with the archetype of the sun sign, you know. And if you want to follow such videos, then you really need to know basics of astrology and or basics of your personal horoscope. Even when a person knows his or her horoscope, such interpretations, as it is this one, can only be an inspiration, not instruction or rules for life. So I hope you will understand this in that sense. If you want to learn the basics of astrology together with me, then in that case you can go to my webpage, symbolicthinking.net, and there you will see that I offer online astrology course for beginners. The first lesson is for free. You can go through the first lesson and then you will decide whether you will buy it or not. I have much more materials to work online with, but in other languages, not that much in English. But this course is in English. So let's go in order. What we are going to say here applies for those who have Sun, Ascendant, or Moon in the concrete astrological sign. So now when I will speak about Aries, this will apply for those who have Sun in Aries, Ascendant in Aries, and perhaps also those who have Moon in Aries. And that will the same applies for every zodiac sign. So now we are going to speak about Aries, okay? So although Mars, the ruler of Aries, is in a weak position in May, Aries still has something to do, as usually. First of all, many have started new friendships during this year or changed their relationship with friends, possibly with co-workers, with people who they cooperate with eventually. So now it is the time to reconsider those relationships. In the period of retrograde Saturn, some Aries people will give up long-term plans and expectations. Others will work hard and endure to the end in order to realize them, even if they see that things are going in a hard way. So those who are engaged in social events, or who are somehow involved in these things that are happening with us collectively, will have a significant period because it will be necessary to reconsider their further engagement. Many Aries people are missionaries, and when things are happening that are important for the society or collective where they live in, they try to persuade people to think or to work in that sense as Aries consider the best way. So maybe now they need to, if they are engaged in such things, they should reconsider that in the future, for the future. A lot of plants in the second astrological house talk about questioning or questioning of the value or of reevaluating everything what Aries do or Aries has. So they need to find new value in their work, in their money, in their possessions, in that what they are or what they created. If they are artists, they need to reconsider the value of the work they created and so on. In this area is Uranus, in this area of values. And Uranus has been confusing and surprising Aries people for quite some time. There may be changes about money, for example, or job, or possessions. However, May is very promising, especially the first week or first 10 days of May, because Venus will be in the second astrological house in Taurus sign together with Sun and Mercury. And this means that the beginning of May, Aries people will have the opportunity to earn more money or to feel that they have created something that is really valuable. With Jupiter in the 12th field, 12th house, Aries imagination flourishes, but also secret desires and hopes are born, secret hopes. The eclipse of the moon in Sagittarius in May speaks of changes in life philosophy, perhaps giving up of some trips abroad, or those Aries who live abroad will wish to come back home, or maybe they will interrupt their contacts with some foreigners. It is also possible that Aries people who are on the court have some court process, that this process will finish now, and possibly Aries who are still studying will interrupt their studies or finish their studies. Everything depends on specific horoscope. Actually, young Aries and students, and also professors and teachers, Aries, will feel that these changes that are happening in education field influence them very much. And those changes that start now will last for 7 months, and they will, with this, learn a lot about how they will function in the future in this education field. Taurus people. In May, Taurus people celebrate their birthdays. So happy birthday to all Taurus people. And their 1-year cycle ends and a new one begins. This is often the reason for some worries, or maybe people around their birthday can feel tired or exhausted in a way. And the rule says that a person regenerates 10 to 14 days after birthday. Uranus is in Taurus for several years already and will be there until the 2026. And Uranus is changing many Taurus people, especially those who are first decade of Taurus. And May will bring new knowledge about that, what is Uranus actually doing in their sign. They will see the positive side of the changes that Uranus brought. Since there will be good planets, positive, light planets in the sign of Taurus in May, so those bright planets we can also say, many Taurus people will feel very happy and relaxed in this period. It can be some even unexpectedly happy moments at the beginning of this period. It is good for making money, it is good for establishing new relationships, making new communication with people, many good things. For some, life will be significantly in this time also accelerated because of Mercury. The new moon that is going to happen in Taurus on May 11th says that it is a time for a new 6-month cycle that can concern the profession as well as the realization in other areas of life, depend on personal horoscope. It can also mean a change in diet and different attitude towards food and material existence in general, material properties also. Jupiter in the 11th house offers help of useful people, brings protectors. If Taurus people need protectors, they will have them. house actually brings money also, or gifts of any kind. So it is a good time to expect something. It's a good time for that to be ready to accept gifts from the universe. Jupiter helps also Taurus people if they are career oriented. You know, May, June and July can be very prosperous in this matter. I have recorded 3 videos about Uranus in Taurus. They are on YouTube. So if you are interested in this topic, if you have planets in Taurus, check those videos, please. Then Gemini people. I wish also a very happy birthday to all Gemini people who are celebrating in May. It is very important time now for them. Why? Because the North Node has been transiting through the sign of Gemini since last year, since last June, and is asking them to reconsider what it makes sense to do next. It is time to be retired, to be employed, to be divorced, to be married, to sell a house, to buy a house. It depends on personal horoscope. But this is the time of big, important decisions, and each Gemini has his rhythm and his needs. You know, we can't say that this brings marriage or this brings divorce. No, it depends on horoscope. But if you've been waiting for this for a long time and thinking, should you do this or not, now it is the time to do it. It is a very good advice to take care of health now, because sudden things can happen with the North Node in Gemini, for all Gemini people. There are eclipses on the Gemini-Sagittarius axis in May and June, and many Gemini people will feel that they need to make big decisions, but I always advise them to do it after the eclipse. If something big happens during the eclipse time, it's okay. That's simply something that the universe is sending to you. But if you are going to make the decision for yourself, then wait until the end of June. Gemini who have planets around the 5th degree of Gemini can expect some changes in partnership in May or June, or some interpersonal relationship will change. While Gemini with the planets around the 19th degree will have in May and June changes in professional life. Possibly they will make some important decisions relating to their residence, eventually their future development. With a lot of planets in the 12th astrological house, a lot of is happening for Gemini people in the unconscious part of themselves. So unconscious or subconscious part is very active, and they could bring that into the conscious if they work with people who have some techniques or methods of some alternative healing, or people who are able to use methods to go into the subconscious and make it clear what is happening in this sphere. It is also very good with these planets in the 12th house. It is very good period to be free of fears. Many people are afraid in our time. So now you should work on, if you have planets in 12th house, now work on your fears also. Cancer or crab people, especially those crabs who have planets in the 1st decade of their sign, they will be very lucky in May and June because they have trine from Jupiter. And this is one of the best aspects at all. Trines in the water signs always harmonize feelings and help a person to better understand himself and others. Crabs have a period in which they can dedicate themselves to humanitarian work, or they can take care of others in a way. Especially they can take care of their close family members. They will need this. It can also be a period where some family member achieve significant success in life, or those crabs who do not have families can be successful themselves. This is also a good period for studying and enrolling in college, or maybe also to travel. You know, some signs are lucky in traveling enough, no matter that we have this these new measures, no matter of those restrictions. In the next 7 months, crabs will feel the limitations related to intimate relationships and in the area of mutual or of these finances which they have with others. If they want to finance something with other people, they will have some limitations. Also in intimate sphere, there is going to be some limitation. But it is a time to invest money together with somebody, but there are obstacles there. If you want to understand this area of your life, then it is important to know that this what is happening is actually the shadow projection. What you pass on the others regarding intimate life or your finances situation reflects actually the state of your consciousness. Also, a lot of planets in the 11th astrological house during May talk about great social activity. Possibly many friends you will meet with many friends, new friends are arriving into your life, or maybe there are going to be some joint projects with others, and perhaps also with there can be some friendly loves. You know, you can fall in love with a friend, or a friend can introduce you to someone. Leo. Those who have Sun in the first and second decade of Leo are going through a rather difficult period all this year. Many are not aware of what exactly it is about, so they have health problems or they are facing some inconveniences with people or in their partnership life, in their marriage life. All this, or something of this, says that it is a time to abandon old patterns, old ways of life, outdated perceptions and expectations, and to devise or to accept new life direction, if possible. Those who are alone, who do not have any partnership life, need in this time a lot of freedom. You know, they enjoy to be free. You know, but actually this is happening with those who are in partnership life. They have partnership life, but they need freedom. So actually, Leo people are learning that they need to give more freedom to themselves and to others. Leo people do not like restrictions, so they really in this time learn about freedom generally. When they are free, then they can create freely also, and creative potential of Leo is great, you know. So if they cannot create anything in this time, or not, they cannot create as they want, it can be the question of freedom. Are they free enough to do what they want to do? And also, if someone has planets in Leo and accepts the insane restrictions of those who are in power, in charge in our states, while his intuition tells him that something is deeply wrong, then Leo should analyze this. Of course that Leo should follow his intuition, not listen to that what others are saying. It is interesting that contrary to that, Leo also with these transits learn to accept some limitations. You know, the subject is freedom, but limitations also. So we all cannot do something at the same time as we are free to do whatever. From May to July, Jupiter offers to Leo opportunity to work on themselves and to understand better their psychic and emotional life. Many will benefit now from encounters with spiritual people or healers, you know, that will help Leos a lot, especially Leos of the first decade. Then Virgo. Virgos of the first decade have very, very unique transits. This is Jupiter. Jupiter is in the 7th house. It is an ideal period for many Virgos to be married, especially first decade Virgos, to establish new relationships or new partnership or to improve partnership life. Virgos of the second and the third decade will feel this in the year 2022. Virgos, yes, I want to say that Virgos of the first decade who have more opportunities to use this Jupiter now than others can use it for better or worse. Everything depends on the conscious, of the level of conscious of individual. Because even if Jupiter is the lucky planet, can bring different experiences. Depends on that. Are we ready for it or not? I will say more about Jupiter when I will be speaking about Pisces in this video. Many Virgos will have a period of change in their work in May. Those who hire people to work for them will need to maybe change those workers. And Virgos who are employed, they will have changes in the environment. So people who are together with them in the same work will have an idea that Virgos will maybe not accept or things like that. So be ready for that and maybe be ignorant if possible. Do not pay too much attention to this. It will pass. Virgos who are learning about healing or are offering services to others have a significant phase in coming months. Much of what they have learned so far will be applied now, or they can apply now this or next month. Eclipses make square to Virgos, so it will affect changes related to career and family life. It is time for new career for Virgos. It is time to improve career, no matter what is generally happening with all of us. Whoever is ready for something new will not be surprised with the events that are coming. And now Libra. Until May the 10th, Venus will be in Taurus, which automatically brings Libra a sense of value or helps them to buy or sell something for a good price. Or also this position of Venus has a positive effect on cooperation and connection with others, even on the improvement of their intimate relationship. In principle, may suggest better financial situation and much better than Libras expected. From May 10 and on, until the end of May, Venus will pass into the sign of Gemini, and Libra can actively be involved in writing, on communication, writing emails, organizing things on computer. If they work in media, this will be a very good period for them. For most of the month, Mercury will also be in the ninth field, ninth astrological house, and it is a good time for Libra to make plans for the future. Do not forget about your future. It seems now that we cannot plan anything, but Libras can. Jupiter will enter for the short time to the sign of Pisces. It will be there until July, and this will bring good relationship at work or will bring good employees to Libra. Jupiter otherwise helped Libra in the first part of this year to better understand how they will realize in the future their creative potential, or Jupiter is helping them to understand their kids in a better way. Jupiter is doing good thing in this area of life, while Saturn is creating certain restrictions. Scorpio. Scorpios of the first and second decade had a lot of challenges this year because the square of Uranus and Saturn made a difficult aspect to their sign. Many felt pressure, or they had to work or to study very hard. Many were frightened, or they had some sort of tension and did not know what to do and how to resist these heavy influences that they're coming from outside. However, everything that happened to them at the first sight under the influence of external circumstances, in fact, only triggered certain internal processes which need to happen. In the time we live in, it is very important to be flexible, and Scorpio people are fixed sign, they are not flexible. Therefore, it is important to leave the past behind and no longer to contribute to personal, or to leave behind all of those things that no longer contribute to personal development. And maybe to accept new circumstances of life and not to be afraid of that. Simply new things are happening to Scorpio people as to anyone else. And acceptance is the key. The Scorpio people of the first decade will be under the influence of Jupiter next 3 months. So it is a good period to, if you can do something good or you can help yourself somehow or can learn something that can help you in this crazy situation we live in, then use these 3 months for that. But in the next part of the year, you will not have that big tension as you had at the beginning of the year. Now in May, there are a lot of planets in Taurus, which is the opposite from Scorpio. And this will help Scorpio people to develop new or better partnership life. Although Uranus transits there for many years already and brings unexpected changes, some even unpleasant, still in May, Venus, with other positive planets, worships to Scorpio people that they are attractive and that someone is waiting for them and that someone needs them. Otherwise, eclipses in May and June change intimate life and this close contact that Scorpios have with their partner. Sagittarius. Always happy Sagittarius, full of enthusiasm and optimism, should, as we know, give up of something this year. Giving up can also be with optimism. So, many will give up their intentions because of the partnership life. They will do some things because their partner needs that, without thinking of themselves. For others, it will not be about partnership, but of professional life. Most of the Sagittarius people will change their professional life during this year. It is a time for a change because one 18-year cycle finishes and new one starts. Think of that. What did you start in the year 2000, around the year 2003? Now that will end in a way and you will create something new later on. Some Sagittarius already feel that, some will feel it strongly in May and June this year, and others, the last group, in December of the 2021. Those who have planets around the 5th degree of Sagittarius will experience something that is significant in life at the end of May, because it's going to be a total lunar eclipse on the 5th degree of Sagittarius at the end of May. This can be very, very important time. You can be very emotional, but just listen and learn from this and accept everything what is happening. You just accept. The ruler of Sagittarius, the planet Jupiter, is entering Pisces. And Jupiter is exalted in Pisces. So it is a good message for Sagittarius. Someone is protecting Sagittarius, as always. This is particularly important transit for spiritually oriented or religious Sagittarius, because all of a sudden everything will start have new meaning, and this is some sort of awakening. Then also in the field of communication, there is going to be change because Saturn is retrograde. So if Sagittarius people travel, they will have troubles or they will be somehow limited and things like that. And now let's speak about Capricorn. Capricorns mostly feel when their ruler, Saturn, is retrograde. This is usually very, very important for Capricorn people. So now Saturn is going to be retrograde in Aquarius from the May 23rd until the October 11th. This period will be opportunity for Capricorn people to complete some their work, to work very hard, and to better orient themselves in the events of these current events and their current situation. Work is the key. This transit of Saturn can change their attitude towards money and their current material condition. They will maybe not need that much material stuff. That is going on for some time with Capricorns. They're not that material as they were before. During this transit, this 5-6 months, it is good to be modest and to accept some restrictions. Everyone will be shown in which area of life and in which way to be modest and restricted. In any case, the limitations in the material realm mean that there are going to be limitations within Capricorn people themselves. And that's good, to limit themselves for some time. Because they need to work hard, because they will achieve something on later, if they do so. There will be also new situations at work, and Capricorn people will establish contacts with people who are completely different than those that they met before at their job. Maybe these strange circumstances we all live in can help Capricorn people to gain greater intimacy and more trust. It's interesting. Capricorn people go usually opposite than others, you know. Now we lose trust and then Capricorn people gain it. This is very good period also for nurturing health. Even eclipses in Sagittarius and Gemini suggest that Capricorn people should have some diet or some new daily routine or should be more physically active and things like that. The first 10 days of May also bring challenges in love life. New contacts, and maybe some Capricorn people will fall in love. Everybody wants that in today's time. Now people speak about love a lot. Aquarius. Well, what to say? Aquarius people have Saturn in their sign. So for them, nothing is the same as before. And how it will become clear on gradually. Since Saturn will not be retrograde again until the next year, now it is the time for many Aquarius people to set their mind in this new condition. They learned something in previous 5 months, and now they're reconsidering that. Now they know a lot. And they create within themselves something new, which they will start from October this year on. This is very, very important period between May and October. Another similar period will be in the year 2022. But now, this year, it influences Aquarius of the first and second decade. And the same period will be Aquarius of the second and the third decade next year. So Aquarius has one of the most important life periods. And what is it really about? They start learning from May on. Life wants them to be mature and to be responsible. And it can be that Aquarius people think that life wants from them to be there is too much responsibility, but it is only for a certain period. Later on, you will get used to these new circumstances. If you think now that life is a struggle, it will not look like that in autumn this year. Then planets in Taurus speak of a new emotional needs and a new situation in domestic life. Really, Aquarius people need support from home, from the members of their family, or they need to change home, to buy a new home. They need to create a new base, which is very, very intimate base, because they're creating the base for everything now. So the first we start within ourselves. So we all have home, like where we live in, but we also have home inside of us. So both of those two homes are now in the process of renovation, let's say, for Aquarius people. First, they need to establish that base inside of them or at home, and then they will go into the life. May is good. May is very good if they want to buy something or if they want to improve their family life. Later on, from July on, they will be more optimistic. But now, from May to June, they really need to work on those things that they want to achieve, that they need as their future base. What else can I say to Aquarius people? You know, if you have, because those planets that are in Taurus are making square to Uranus, so if you feel that that's what I'm talking about, to create new base is very hard for you, and the things are not happening as you wish, then you perhaps should wait for some time. You are learning about yourself a lot, and life is giving you and showing you something that you cannot even imagine. So let life lead you. Let the universe lead you. You will see that everything will be fine. And now Pisces. From May to July, Jupiter will guard Pisces people, especially those of the first decade of Pisces. Jupiter is our protector and our guru, and now is at the first degrees of Pisces. He will give some gift to Pisces people, especially those of first decade. However, many people do not understand the energy of Jupiter, and sometimes people complain, oh, there was Jupiter in my sign and I did not feel anything, nothing happened. Well, people complain because they don't understand the nature of this energy. Jupiter gives gifts to those who are dear to him, who are his favorite, and those people are often good, a little bit naive. Those people are without desires, and they believe in the power of spirit. Jupiter gives to such people, and many Pisces are such. Many are not, of course, but many are. So Jupiter gives that what we believe in, not that what we want. So especially Pisces people of the first decade will have that what actually is something somewhere deep in themselves, that they believe that they deserve, or it can happen. They believe it can happen. The simplest thing to do to get nowadays from Jupiter is a journey, or maybe contacts with foreigners, or new useful lessons, new useful people coming who are teaching us something. That's how usually manifests in today's time. So that can be. Pisces can have these experiences. But actually, Jupiter is the planet of universal knowledge, you know. So people who really well correspond with Jupiter are people of high spirit. So if you're Piscean and you're too much materially oriented, now it's your time coming that you change that. Some first decade Pisces people will feel it now, and other Piscean people will feel that in the year 2022. Yet Saturn is retrograde for Pisces people, and it is in the 12th house. It can be very, very harsh because they really need to develop spiritual life and to better understand what is in their subconsciousness. But maybe they are not really ready for that. They don't have teachers, they don't have tools, they don't have techniques. So they need to learn about prayer, about meditation, about healing methods, and so on. So it is very, very good time now to start learning about it, to go to courses, to write, to learn, to read about those things, about spiritual development, or about themselves. You know, even Piscean people can learn some crafts or some techniques of playing music or whatever. Different things can bring them into these spheres where they need to be. Eclipses that are happening in Sagittarius and in Gemini sign indicate change in the family area. So many Piscean people will maybe change home, or they will establish their family if they're young Piscean people, or there are going to be some changes there that they need, you know, because they now need support of the close ones. You know, some even will have some heritage. Can be also the time for this. Actually, this is the preparation for the end, very big end that will come in a few years, and new life that will start later on. So that's all for now. As you see, that was not only about May. I spoke also generally for this year for some zodiac signs. I don't have that discipline to talk about one thing. I talk about that where inspiration takes me. If you want to order consultations with me, please feel free to do it. Go to my web pages named Symbolic Thinking, and there you will see which types of consultancy do I offer. I work mainly with spiritual astrology, psychological astrology. I do Theta healing, which is the method of energetically spiritual healing, and I also offer consultations based on Feng Shui. If you like this video, please like it and share it. And if you want to be connected, you can also find me on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, I wish you to be very happy, to flourish, like things should flourish in May, and to be very, very positive in any sense.